Welcome back, everyone, to Masters Bangkok. It's our grand finals, and of course, I'm Golden Boy here with two very special guests here. You might be familiar with them. It's the global head of Valorant Esports, Leo Fadia, as well as our studio head of Valorant, Anna Donlan.
Hey,
guys, thank you so much for joining me here today.
I have never been happier to not see a bowl of spicy food.
I like spicy food, so I kind of want to try it. So if we can get it up here eventually during the course of the day, that would be absolutely brilliant.
I think it's great that you do that.
By the way, Anna, did I notice something there with a scent?
I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you always coming at me with the questions?
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'm just here. I'm just a little guy asking questions. That's all I am.
Take a shot.
I had to try. I'm a journalist after all. Now, in any case, though, let's talk about this. Waylay looks awesome. I mean, she looks like just an absolute beast when used properly. For you, Anna, what was the plan always to, because this is a Thai agent,
yes.
Correct? So
yes.
It felt like divine intervention. This was like meant to happen here.
Yeah, you know, like a lot of different things go into how we decide where an agent comes from. Some of it's play style, some of it's like, what have we done before? Where's the community really growing and thriving? This one was one where we were literally sitting and looking at the calendar for the year. We've been trying to move our calendar around a lot for a while.
Yeah.
And just trying to figure it out. We knew what this agent was going to be all about. And it just, the synergy was 100% there. Like, it was 100% there. And I don't want people to think we're going to do this every time. I think that would be really predictable.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think when there are moments, to create a moment as special as the one that we just had.
The reaction, how was that moment for you?
Like, I think the community is starting to understand I'm a big baby, and like I am like
I am too, don't worry about it.
I cry at everything. Makeup had to redo touch me up because like I did, like it's something about putting there are hundreds of rioters working on this game, you know, and they put a lot into these agents, and we take a lot of feedback and we hope we get it right. But when you're sitting with the players that you make it for, and you did something to honor them, and they have the response that they did, like in the stadium, that feeling, yes, I did cry like.
And believe it or not, it was the first time we launched an agent at their
first time,
right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that because I thought we did that for Gecko, but I was wrong. Like, we didn't.
Gecko was launched in Sao Paulo, lock-in, and we launched Sunset.
That was
in
the
LA.
map. We launched
That's
Sunset.
right.
That was the first time.
Wow, that is really cool.
And it created a really special moment. You could feel it in here.
You definitely can.
It was amazing.
The sound was deafening once it was revealed. Super cool. How did it feel to see the agent play out on stage for you guys? How about you, Leo?
Man, I actually can't wait to see, because it's going to be available to play at the start of stage 1.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was dope.
Who do you think's going to pop off with it?
I like a good duelist with flashy plays. We all love the highlights and, you know, the big moments. So, yeah, it'll be.
I think she's definitely going to be one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it seems like she has so much potential to have the flashy plays, but also can create some really fun dynamic moments here. It's really cool to see Waylay being played out there, and I'm pumped to see any. We heard Tens earlier. Anyone on the America side? 'Cause, you know, we're a little America's bias in this one. Who you think?
Second.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I just want to see Second. I just want to see Second. I want to see Buzz on it. You know, I want to see some of the best of the best on that agent. It's going to be dope. Now, speaking of players, though, okay, something that we're doing real special here, and might as well reveal it, is our MVP bracelet. And this is just a really cool thing.
Look at that.
Place it right there. Look at that bad boy. It's super cool. You know, I've been working in esports for well over a decade now. And, you know, you get the MVP award given to you in a variety of different forms. Why did you guys aim to make it a bracelet? What was there a specific reason behind it?
Look, first of all, MVP, it's a 5th year of the sport.
Yeah.
And now that we're here, we started reflecting.
Yeah.
A lot of what we're doing is building legacies and building stories, right? And what better than celebrating not only the best teams by raising a trophy, but celebrating the best players who rose above everyone else, and giving them something that feels special and unique. And we've been debating for a long time now, what is the right piece of memorabilia to celebrate that. We've tried a bunch of things. We did this survey with the players, and all they want is something flashy to show.
That's it. That's all they wanted.
That's
just
right.
something flashy to show.
That's exactly right.
And what better than a bracelet? That is quite flashy, by the way. So is this something that the fans should be expecting every every big event that we do from here on out?
That's correct. That's the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
We started with Champ Soul, then we did it at Game Changers, and now every global event from now on will have a
And then I'm wondering, once someone gets multiple MVPs, right? How do we create like a buckle that then, you know, is like they're like Wonder Woman but on steroids, you know?
You know, not a bad idea, but the plan is just stack them up, baby. You know?
I love it. I love it.
Like you know, a lot of the players actually look to NBA and the NFL and how some players had like a handful of rings.
Yeah, that's true, and
that's the
now
idea.
You kind of have that like vibe
with the bracelets.
Yeah, yeah, and for you guys here in Thailand and being a part of this event, how is it for you? You've gone to all of these different. We've done this a few times now, as a matter of fact. You know. What has made this event particularly special for you?
I think it's the community, honestly. Like I say it all the time, but like every country that we go to brings a different type of energy. Yeah. They're so very specific. They always bring something really authentic and genuine. The Thai community has just been exceptionally welcoming and warm and lovely, and I think it's brought. I don't know. The vibes are always hype. Like the vibes here are like super hype in the stadium. Just even outside the stadium, just meeting people, it's just been, I don't know, it's been an incredible energy. And this isn't a region that we always hoped that we would pop off in this region.
Yeah.
But we did right out of the gate. Like this was an area that took to Valorant really, really quickly. So it's just been really special to bring a big event here, honestly.
And the food is so
and the food
always,
is
man.
very
in love.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I've been eating my body weight in pad Thai and Thai tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's delicious.
No
delicious.
insects though. I know.
No, I can't do that. Had it one time back in the day, never again.
I can't do the bugs.
Yeah, I can't do the bugs, but I respect it. I respect it.
I do. I respect all of you.
Well, if you know we got a little bit of extra time here, I do want to ask just about the year as a whole. How obviously we've had a bit of a crazy year with LA and all that stuff and the fires, but just getting the league off the ground across all the different regions. Leo, how has it been for you this year? Because it really feels like this season we're coming into more of a form with our players and our teams and our fans and where we're going. It really is incredible.
Man, it is. Look, it's a special year for us, and I'll let Anna speak to that. But the whole theme of the year is we've been iterating and we've been trying different things. I feel like, to your point, this year feels like we're finally getting to a place where we feel good about a number of things, right? We extended the calendar, champs now in October. We no longer have a 5-month off season.
Thank you for that.
Of course.
I believe we spoke directly about that a few times.
I got you.
Yeah.
We made changes to the format, so now the groups are easier to understand. We made changes to championship points, so now more teams are rewarded for doing good at Masters. All the top 4 teams are going to be awarded championship points. We're also doing a bunch of new things, innovating on the esports hub, being client, and the broadcast and our website that definitely deserves some love.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, it's just the overall evolution of the VCT that we're feeling really good.
It's a really awesome thing for sure. Well, guys, real quick before we go, who's going to win the grand finals?
Oh. Are we allowed to say?
Look, I would say G2.
Okay.
It's a better story,
but,
right?
But
T1's a good story too,
no,
though.
T1's a great story.
But look, I gotta be honest. I was not a believer in T1.
Now you are.
But they have just
That's
proved
true.
me wrong.
He's become a
time
T1
and time
stan
again.
for sure.
All right. Well, you heard it from Leo. You heard it from Anna. There you have it, folks. But let's go ahead and hear from one possible MVP contender. And I thank you so much for both of your time, as always. Let's do it in another country next time, all right? Now, of course, we spoke to One Leaf about making the grand finals in this Omen player moment.
Hey guys, G2 Leaf here, Sentinel for G2 Esports. I'm feeling just kind of tired right now after making grand finals. We've played many best of 5s as a team, We played one in kickoff, we played multiple last year, even at the international stage, and we all we came up short up until this latest kickoff, so we just need to make sure that our focus is just at an absolute peak, and we'll let the game come to us.
Quick with it, support from Simon, and G2 left in towards the ult. It's down to 3v2. They're going to force out the ult as well. Simon taking no chances here. They want to bulldoze forward. Oh, I told you about these stingers, and maybe it's true. Smoggy has to pull this off himself, and the time is ticking. G2.
I don't want to celebrate making it to grand finals, to be honest, because if we lose, then it's just what was all that celebration for? You didn't even finish the job. But I definitely want to look forward and kind of manifest the win and just the celebration afterwards. But I need to get there first. I know online we have a lot more supporters as the tournament goes on, and we're just gonna make sure that we don't let anybody down.
All right, everyone, and welcome back here at the Grand Finals of Bangkok, Thailand. Of course, Golden Boy here, now joined by my incredible analysts. We have Kakuka as well as Mimi, and we're going to break everything down. But before we do that, though, today's MasterCard fan poll is pretty straightforward. I mean, you guys kind of know what I'm going to say here. Which team is lifting the trophy today? Scan that QR code, cast your vote. We'd love to hear from you because we love your faces. Also, tell us who's going to win using the hashtags VALORANT Masters and VCT. And today, I'll give you permission to only send us okay stuff because we got to get everyone in here. You know, okay, good, whatever. Just, you know, not the bad stuff. In any case, though, folks, guys, real quick, before we go jump anything, Waylay.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be very interesting to see how it merges and if it will be possible for Jet to be replaced, especially now that Ascent is back. We also saw some changes there. And
I don't know what you're talking about. Anna didn't mention anything.
Oh, yeah, and definitely some players that were very good, I believe, last year with the Neon and whatnot. Like, for example, I'm thinking of Miniboo that didn't have a good start in EMEA this year. I think that could be his saving grace.
Good to see another agent with really high skill ceiling, a lot of room to play with the micro on that. Super excited to see more and more pros get their hands on it.
Yeah, that's just going to be another agent that I won't be able to play because I'm trash. So we're going to have to Boomer Stone for me, baby. But hey, look at this. T1, well, they made it here with one hell of a lower bracket run. Taking down Vitality and EDG along the way. This squad, Mimi, has looked incredible despite the fact that no one thought they would be in this position to begin with.
Most people had this team ranked dead last. No one gave them really a chance heading into this event, the second seed from Pacific, but they have been so good throughout this tournament and have come into their own in the playoffs, playing a unique style with the double duelist, finding form for individual players, and now for the organization, making their first global final in Valorant.
Absolutely, and they've played so much. The road to get in here has been so difficult, and throughout the way, they've been taking down the Titans from every single region, but today is the final boss for them.
It truly is, but it's also a big demon for these two guys to overcome in Buzz and Stacks. These are two players that have a massive milestone opportunity ahead of them here, Mimi, because they can hoist that trophy, something they have not been able to do.
They've already made history making a finals. Their previous was top 3, but they always fell short with DRX. Missed out when the first Asian team lifted a trophy last year. It was another Korean squad, Gen G. But now they're here with a new jersey on after a very long career in Valorant with a chance to make history for themselves and win their first ever trophy.
And when we speak about Buzz and Stacks, we reminiscent of like the good old days when everything was still up for grabs and we were still trying to determine which was going to be the region on top. But for them too specifically, the last time that they won a grand final was even before we started this whole partnership era. So it could be so different today.
All right, but then over on the other side, you got G2. They're looking to make history here as this is their first global final and they could be the first Ascension team to win a global title. I'm a big fan of G2. I've always been a fan of this squad. And Kakuka, this is a massive opportunity for this team and organization.
Absolutely. For them, as we're saying, winning to Ascension, demonstrating that this entire plan, this whole ecosystem can work, utilizing from the beginning of the year every single tool that they had. Last year was good, but what we're seeing this year, how they're ramping up, how Juggernaut is fitting so well onto the plans, is really good to see how well the system works.
The journey for this team is so cool. It was just 3 years ago that 3 of these players came to a Masters 1 as the guard. They bombed out there, but since then, they stuck together after having offers to go into Tier 1. They played that extra year of Tier 2, earned their spot in the Americas League, and now have earned their spot in their first ever global finals. No matter what happens today, it's going to be a new squad lifting a trophy. It's going to be new players earning the accolade for the first time, and it's got to feel so good for G2 to have done that together after all this journey that they've been on.
Yeah, what an incredible story both teams have undergone to reach this moment here. And folks, no matter what happens, history will be made on that very stage today. It's G2 versus T1, a best of 5 for the trophy. The Masters Bangkok Grand Finals starts right now.
G2 on the verge. Fallon takes away nobody at all on G2 now. And the time is singing the tune of G2 right now. And he knows it. Time to face the music. Time.
The core team of me, Val, and Trent, our goals have always been aligned since the very beginning, all those years ago.
The Guard, literally our youngest average team. And we unfortunately say goodbye to the Guard. Didn't feel like we saw much at all.
We've always had what it takes to win.
The Guard, you're Ascension champions in the Americas region.
But Valorant, it can't be a perfect game.
And the hopes and dreams of G2 have come to an end.
G2, the Ascension Dreamers, reaching new heights, locking in the grand finals.
Having the opportunity to stick together through this whole time and finally bring home a trophy would just mean everything to me.
이 순간을 제가 항상 꿈꿔왔는데
For Stacks, somebody who was absent for so very long from the global stage.
Stacks has to stand and accept his fate.
이 순간에 이제 오면은 항상 어떨까라는 생각도 많이 해왔었고
For DRX, their era of dominance, that has long since ended.
DRX에서는 좋은 시간을 많이 보냈지만 그래도 만남이 있으면 이별이 있는 법이니까
DRX cut down.
A statement win, this T1 team, the Usurpers.
T1!
They smoke Vitality.
Who's the best team in Korea now?
The wildest dreams coming true. T1 are going to the finals.
I'm proud of the boys for getting the win versus EDG, but now comes the bigger test.
인생을 살면서 가장 힘든 순간이 상대팀이 트로피를 들었을 때인데 트로피를 두 번 다시 놓치고 싶지 않습니다.
We both worked hard to get to the finals, but believe me, we worked harder.
저희 T1은 여기서도 역사를 써내려갈 것입니다. Will you? Let's see.
Sawasdee ผู้เล่น VALORANT ชาวไทยทุกท่านยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่ Final Match Masters Bangkok และนี่คือ 2 ทีมสุดท้าย ขอเสียงตบมือต้อนรับตัวแทนจากโซนแปซิฟิกที่วอลอีซูบอสและนี่คือคู่ต่อสู้ของพวกเขาตัวแทนจากโซนอเมริกา G2 เจ้าเกโมเทรนWarren Jonapi
finals here in Bangkok, Thailand. G2 Esports, T1, two teams that fought tooth and nail to make it to this moment. And now it's an opportunity for either one of these teams to make history.
It absolutely is. G2, the first Ascension team to make a global final, a chance to win a trophy as well. And T1, they've been on a miracle run, but that means they're coming from the lower bracket and they're facing a two-ban advantage.
And there goes your series layout: Lotus, Haven, Abyss, and Split Pearl if necessary. Kakuka, what you make of this?
I make of this that I thought the G2 was going to be banning the Haven. They decided to go for no buy, giving T1, Lotus, and Haven the two maps with the 3 sites. Not only that, G2 has decided that we are going to start here on Lotus. This has to be a power move. They're not here to just win on the easy basis. They want to prove that they can outgo.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Both teams undefeated on that.
That they are, but with very different approaches.
Not T1.
Fair.
He was close, though.
Close.
Almost there, yes. But for T1, this map has looked so good. It is the ultimate way to see the style clash between these teams. The Breach, Teo, Yoru, the meta that G2 has been defining versus T1, playing the double duelist that no one else is really playing, but it's a meta they've defined for themselves and have made such good on this tournament thus far.
Exactly. The styles, as you're saying, Mimi, are very different. And if we look at the individuals, as also you were mentioning, Trent and Jonah P, the way that they combo everything, we've seen so many things. Right now, Trent is leading with 13 kills with those salvos. Very, very further away from even the second place, which would be nobody with 7. And with the little amount, well, compared to the rest of them, of rounds that he has played, it is amazing to see this kind of combination between the two.
A familiar spot for some of these players. For Meteor, his 3rd Masters final he's made in a row. Austin, the last one, trying to make good on that here. Agent Select is no surprises. The ISO Rays facing up against the Yoru, Breach, Teo. And I think the biggest thing to watch out for is how both these teams are going to brawl for a lobby. G2 has a ton of util to overwhelm with their double initiator comp, but T1 with that ISO shield, combos with the undercut, they have ideas to fight for that space heavily as well.
You mentioned the ISO. I think of Meteor. He was in every single grand final of Masters that last year. And not only that, every single one of them went to the final map, went right to the final map to just get an answer on who was going to be the winner.
All right, folks, our teams are locked in, and it's time for the first pistol round of this grand final. And this is going to be one for the books. And we've got just the casters to tell this story, and I'm so glad I get to send it to them. It's Achilleos and Paper Thin.
Thank you, GB. What a road it is to get to this moment. Not for us, but for these two teams. T1, their first grand final as a franchise here at a global. G2, the same story coming in from that upper bracket.
And there's so many interesting storylines between both of these teams. They have so many players who have fought, who have clawed their way to finally get to the opportunity to lift a trophy. And this is a big moment. Both teams have one player who have actually lifted a trophy, so there is going to be a little bit of that experience on both sides. However, it all comes down to this: 5 maps potentially to see who is going to be your first Masters winner for 2025.
Barriers drop, G2 on the attack, on the prowl, pushing forward. Sylvan here at the ready, around the corner. The Paranoia going to be sent to fly. Blind, however, going to greet them there, but now the door opened up. The crunch coming in from T1. Meteor able to find a kill, gets a reset on the shield. Continues to push forward, ends up getting cut down, but Izu, the fadeaway, able to find 2. It suddenly gets left into a 1v1.
Buzz, early flank here. So much pressure. He was able to get on his horse. Is Leaf going to be ready for it? Using smoke to obscure himself. Seems to be somewhat aware.
Has to suss out a bunch of different angles here, but Widely looks to just try to stay tucked along the wall, but the timing there from Buzz. Leaf tries to get the flick, he cannot. T1 continuing to improve on their pistols, continuing to dominate in them. We'll find the first round here, the grand final.
Yeah, this is interesting from T1. They set up a crunch around Mound. The last time that G2 had a pistol against EDG here, they set up for a trap at Mound. This time T1 are going to be the ones to collapse through. Meteor pops the shield. Try to use that aftershock to block that angle, but can't quite get there. And a big swing in from Izu. Find a couple kills. And Buzz with that quick rotation, able to catch a timing against Leaf and get a crucial opening round win here for T1. G2 going going to buy up on this eco right away. They're going right into those stingers to try to see if they could take the wind out of T1's pistol victory. A little bit of damage done here, but G2 being patient with that U-tilt. Desk was talking about it, something that T1 excels at is control this space.
T1 has to anticipate these stingers in play. Little bit of damage off the salvo there onto Sylvan. Tucks back behind Rebel once again. Viper wall falls, Buzz gonna be taking down Sylvan. Only gonna be good for another, and here comes G2. Meteor on the floor, clear onto the stealth drone stacks. Gonna have to just try to backpedal. Still, it's quite a bit of damage. The flank being noted, being dominated. G2 on the force up. Looking to just go ahead and immediately tie up this scoreline.
Completely catches T1 off guard there. See if Stacks can find anymore.
And it's just gonna be clean. Cannot find another elimination. Jogamo, the only one taken down. Weapons scooped up. What a play call here from G2.
And this isn't something that they've done a lot during this tournament. They've generally kind of gone into the ecos and played them fairly straight. But this time around, it is all stingers, and it works a treat, and they are so clean with them. Almost as good as rifles, it feels like, in their hands. One of the calling cards of G2, and it comes into play, and it gets them a big round win early. And that's gonna swing the momentum their way as well as T1. One Sheriff for Meteor, the rest is classics. Izu forced back by some of those concusses. Just gonna willingly give up that space. Meteor trying to rotate in to help. Jog, such an annoying person to deal with on this map. The way he plays the Yoru is so unorthodox. He'll find those timings for TPs that just catch you completely off guard. He works off of the Viper smokes really well. This time around, though, just creating some attention, forcing the rotations out from T1.
Cam was getting checked for earlier on. Never were able to go ahead and clear this one out. Valen's still going to be tucked just around the corner here. At least see that there's no one playing around that mount side, so rotations beginning for T1. Sylvan going to be taken down, smattering of damage there on the Leaf. Stray shots in. Buzz not quite getting tagged up there. Push in towards Tree, however. Now he's going to be taken down. Jogamo able to find that, and it's going to be a quick pivot across over towards that C site. Meteor with a nice shot. Does get rid of Leaf, but now Izu getting ready to be overwhelmed as the salvos fly his way, trying to find a safe space. Just here on the corner. Push in and somehow wins out the fight versus Valen.
Time to jump.
Isn't quite ready here for Jaw, but
30 seconds left.
Meteor and Stacks just to try to see if they can deal a little bit of additional damage. Shock Dart goes flying through. Push out, and Stacks getting a couple headshots across. See if they'll find a kill on the Jonah P. Meteor looking for a timing, swings the corner, gets a shot into the shoulder, but cannot find the kill. Jaw with the finisher will get G2 into the lead.
Well, for what it's worth, T1 does damage, but G2 here working the map really, really nicely. They start on the C side, they make a bunch of noise. That gets the rotations out of T1. They go over to A. It takes a little bit longer than they probably would have liked. They clear out Sylvan pretty effectively, but then they catch some of the players, or at least assume that some of the players went over to A side after the toxic screen goes up, but they're ready with the TP with Jog, with a couple players on the other side of the map, rotate back over to C. Izu does a nice job holding on, finding a kill, but already G2 showing a lot of variation in how they're going to approach this attacker side compared to maybe some of what they've done earlier. A lot of times they're happy to brawl against EDG. They fought for A Rubble relentlessly.
Get into the first real buy round here. Already some damage sent out, Buzz. Bounce those paint shells forward. Pushed away, Jonah P. Moving forward to try to fill that space as Buzz just going on the offensive. He goes diving forward, but gonna be met with a headshot. A solid shutdown. Where's the Armageddon gonna be dodged out? The player advantage once more for G2 as they get the plant down on this B site. Shock darts flying, not finding much. Sylvan needing to be able to break through this connector door. Recon quickly cleared. No info gained here for the side of T1. Sylvan on the peak, able to find Jogamo. Still a player on the hard angle, and he's able to break through. Leaf taken down, swing on the corner, Valen trying to keep them in this as another round of salvo is going to be sent out for Trent. A 1v3 just trying to play for time. Gets a headshot on the Sylvan, on his Stacks! The tap from Meteor. The time dwindling, ticking. Trent playing it beautifully. He will fall, but the round is theirs. What a monstrous clutch to keep G2 in the lead.
Oh my goodness. Trent has been so good this event. And a lot of the things I was thinking about with him isn't just his individual mechanics, it's the way that him and Jonah P pair their utility. And this time around, it's the Armageddon there that cuts off the rest of T1 from flooding in with Buzz. Buzz tries to get ahead of it, pays the price. Sylvan does a hell of a job to break through there. Great recognition of the angles of the close quarters fight that he was going to be in. But Trent spamming through the wall, finds two heads with the Guardian. And T1 left stunned. A Guardian and a Vandal of their own, some Sheriffs, so a little bit of a buy-up. Jogamo gonna go on a walkabout. Not gonna see much until he gets to see.
Shifting over, stealth drone as well there to just go ahead and further spot out easy. Rotations starting to come through as he applies the pressure. Cage is up, but ends up getting blinded, and Meteor's there for the catch. Maybe anticipating or just happening upon that gate crash. Either way, happy little accident there for him. Buzz with the showstopper. Able to find VALORANT. Leaf quickly shuts him down. Meteor off screen, however, able to find Trent. And we go into a 4v2 as T1 off the back of the Red Bull clutch from G2. Trying to pull off a thrifty. Meteor just here along the outskirts. Finds the first, finds the second. Instantaneous with the headshots. And with minor investments, T1 will answer back.
Man, Meteor's all over the map on this round. He finds where Jogamo is going to come out of the dimensional drift, clears the teleport even, throws the ult right before the showstopper comes out. And he's got the Tejo, he's got Trent locked in there. And he's able to work his way through the Viper smoke to find those fine 2 kills. And Stax is letting him know, good job. And that was just a really proactive round there by T1. Good reactions to some of that pressure that G2 was trying to create. Some big ultimates there being used on both sides. Viper's Pit gonna be there for Leaf if they can get there.
This gives them a big upper hand as far as the economy is concerned moving forward. So G2 once again back to a couple stingers. Not the full send across the team. Always have to put respect on that weapon when it's in these players' hands. Somehow, some way, they just managed to make it hit different.
Dude, it is unreal what they can do with Stingers. It is so impressive, and it gives them so much versatility. I mean, one of the most impressive things about G2 is just the wide range of guns that they're able to employ. I mean, you think about Leaf with the Outlaw, the Stingers across the board. They're great with Sheriffs, they're great with rifles. They have so much that they can bring at you, and they're so aware of negative space. One of the best things about this team is just understanding when they've left space open. Just look at Leaf right now. He's double checking C. He's re-clearing Mound.
A paint shell from Buzz here to try to delay. Swings onto the corner. He's good for 2. Trent, however, answering right back as Buzz and Sylvan will hit the floor. It's going to be a weapon. 2 weapons, in fact, that can be picked up. It's a bit more even firepower for G2. They look to maintain this lead. Izu's still a world away, wary about that late lurk potentially there from Leaf, but he's here on the site. He's catching Stax completely off guard. Here.
Spike planted.
Tucking back, swinging around over towards this drop side. Slides down the ramp. Double face. Jonah P there to collect. Now everything on the shoulders of Izu to try to tie it up at 3-3, but he's got to get a 1v3 to make that happen.
Couple players weak. Has an opportunity if he can get Leaf.
He cannot. A MasterCard thrifty. G2 keeping themselves out in front.
Well, it wouldn't be a T1 match unless they were dropping against Thrifties. That tends to be something that has happened to them. To be fair, it was often against EDG. Both of them trading a lot of those Thrifty wins, but this is something that G2 excels at, winning in Thrifties. Again, it comes down to the way that they play together, the way that they can utilize some of those weaker buys. And they're able to brawl on Rubble. Trent, so good so far on that Tejo. 8, 3, and 4 right now across the scoreline. This is going to bring a timeout from T1 early to try to reassess the situation. I mean, some decent ideas, but you got to figure out how you can avoid some of that damage from the Stingers and things like that. And G2's working the map. I would say T1's actually moving with them pretty well.
Yeah.
But they're getting beat at the punch. They're getting beat in firepower.
These last few moments in those rounds, that clutch from Trent. This one here, the 2 kills off the back of Buzz's heroics there at Rubble. T1 just letting these moments slip through their grasp.
And he's so dangerous in so many ways. I mean, I just have been floored with Trent, watching him in Americas, watching the way he plays in this event, whether it be on Sova or Tejo. he is so destructive because he's so good with his utility, and him and Jonah P combo the stuns and the damages. I mean, you've seen so many aftershock kills from Jonah P because they're able to combo off of Taeho's stun into that. Things like that that are just so well orchestrated, and they talked about it in one of their interviews that they just do it on the fly. They just figure it out because they've been playing together for so long that they just know. Just got that mind meld going.
Get the hive mind online for a team. It's when they become the most dangerous team in the world, when they can become the best team in the world. G2 certainly want to prove here today. Quick exit there from Jaw. No damage taken. Stax just playing forward here. Trying to catch somebody off guard on a bit more of an open angle. Izu hearing that stealth drone moving forward. Plays forward into the smoke. Now we'll look to reposition. Jonah really teasing this corner. Looks like it's going to be Jogamo to try to lead the charge, though. Stax cannot line it up. IGL going to be taken down. One of the Guardians purchased out of their hands. Still decent firepower available to T1, but G2 continue to play this very slowly.
That's going to let T1 figure out that B is a little bit empty, so they're actually rotating back to A. They have no idea. They've had no contact at C either. It's just a pause here from G2 that opens up the space they need to take this site cleanly, force T1 into a retake with bad numbers and a Viper's Pit to boot.
Yeah, as that util flies, T1 get the bad news. Meteor trying to go on a timing, but Jogamo locks on. Now the Vandal on the floor. Two Sheriffs, a Guardian. Against a Pit and a full 5-stack from G2. Pretty much impossible task for T1. The cam quickly gets cleared out. No vision gained. No advantages eked out. Done picked up, but just spamming up in towards upper. Able to find one. Sylvan will be able to answer one back, but Trent quick to reply. It's not a flawless, but damn near one. Is Izu gonna see if he can find a little bit more. It's a nice headshot on the Jonah P, but G2 just overwhelming. Willing to just slow down the pace and constantly make T1 doubt to rethink their reads.
Yeah, I really like the game plan that G2 has come in with today. Something that T1 can kind of be guilty of is overcommitting or over-rotating. So if you play really patiently against them, reminds me a bit at times of what Vitality did to them in the opener of Swiss Stage. It throws them off guard. You know, they're not really winning these Rebel fights when they take them. They maybe come out even at best. And on top of that, they're just getting out-rotated at times. Valen going to be able to TP safely. No real congestion from the side of T1. A little bit of util thrown that way. This time, though, they've shifted Izu over towards A, left Sylvan onto C on his own. 3 players at B. Is this going to be some kind of attempt at a lurk here for Meteor? Or are they just going to try to crunch right outside of the doors?
Came over the top. The Armageddon to displace Izu. Tries to shift away. Staying tucked here for the moment. Stax desperately trying to catch anyone here with this Hunter's Fury. Sylvan does find the late lurker. Leaf going to be taken down. Called a pivot. A lot less likely now. This Meteor does find Valen. Jaw thinking about going for the push. Is able to do so. Breaks down that shield. Finds the headshot. Trent answering one back. But now finds himself here on his lonesome, spike in hand. Just sandwiched into tree. Paranoia flies his way, avoids it, but thinks he confirms the kill. It's a little bit of a double take. Offsets the aim, can't get it. T1 answer back with a 3rd round win.
Yeah, I like what T1 does here. They willingly give up that space. Let G2 use some of that util early. Great anti-lurking here from Sylvan. Good awareness, and Meteor able to get the refresh on that shield as well. Hiding around that corner. And the crossfire is really nice. Stax' ult, even though it doesn't really catch any damage, able to buy a lot of time for T1 to get into place to stop that execute from even happening. Now you've got another kill contract for Meteor. Rolling Thunder there for Jonah P.
Another dimensional drift for Jaw. Salvo's out. One of the trips getting cleared, the other one still situated there in front of Waterfall. Makes the call, says sights all opened up. Looking for that double damage, and Izu does play off a nice spam. As here comes the kill contract. Valen, the fragging IGL, can he find it? The answer is no. Meteor able to pick him apart, and now T1 full forces here. Leaf on a very late lurk, needs Jonah P to buy some time, but Buzz is here with a backstab.
T1 already very aware. Izu's been watching this angle for quite some time. Stacks as well from Waterfall, keeping his eyes in this general direction, and it's actually going to be Leaf who wins it, down to 10 HP.
Yeah, eats quite a bit of damage, though. And that's likely just going to lead to the call to go for the save, hold on to the weapon. Cash-wise for G2, it's not strong. So need to try to retain this one. T1, left. I think given who they're going up against, more than happy, even though he's down to 10 HP, to not go hunting.
Yeah, I think this is one you can let go. Leaf has been way too good this year. Don't want to challenge that. Unless you felt like maybe Buzz, you could send him out to get the ult orb with the extra cash that he has. But still, T1 also in a situation where a few of the players, the money isn't great. So just hold on, get this round. Try to see if you can get things back to even here. But this has been a great back and forth so far from both of these teams. And again, T1 playing with tremendous patience, letting those hits come, and before the spike can get planted, that's when they start their attack. That's when they throw out the vulnerable Izu combos with a spray through the smoke to find the kill, to kick things off, and that completely slows everything down. And then you're not able to get that rolling thunder going because you got another player who's grabbed in the ult from Izu, or excuse me, from Meteor. So everything kind of just crumbling piece by piece there for G2. Never really able to get that execute that they were looking for off the back of Jog's ult.
Well, now a timeout call from the side of G2. Clearly not happy that T1 getting back into the driver's seat here, making this a bit more contentious. Knowing that they need to have that advantage from the attacker side before they shift over to the defense. And this has been such a strong map for G2 throughout this year, not dropping it. They don't want to start here today, not in the grand final.
Well, they've got multiple maps in this pool that they haven't dropped yet this year. The crazy thing is that actually these two teams, their map pools square up pretty nicely in terms of what they like to play, what they don't like to play. I mean, the fact that Fracture is a ban here for the side of G2 is like crazy. You know, T1 has to be thanking them, thanking their lucky stars a little bit. That has been one of their worst maps this year, to be frank. But the rest of it, the way through, looks really good for both squads. So this should be a very, very tough fought match. Tooth and nail the whole way through. So far, it's been living up to that.
You can already see the parity between the kills for the most part here. Meteor, Trent out in front for their respective teams. Once again, T1 eyeing up this fight over Rubble just a bit. Not heavily committing to this one. They just do stay back a bit as Valen swinging in. Tries to put that singer to use, does take Sylvan so very low, but can't quite confirm that kill.
They're so fast with them too. Jog just gonna TP back. Jonah Pete watching to see if anybody's gonna be chasing. Paranoia there to clear space, and here go Meteor and Buzz thinking about making a push. They're gonna pack off.
Got the undercuts out as well. Leaf just setting up that poison orb, clearing out the tripwire. Izu once again alone here on the C site. The stun, getting the daze. Flash gonna be avoided. Everything kind of flying his way. Swings around the pillar into the cyber cage once again. Izu, he's been so successful with this, but this time it's red and shut down. A Rolling Thunder at the ready over towards Waterfall, and that's gonna connect to just about two players, and Leaf turning back towards that defender's side access. He's able to find Meteor. G2 off the timeout call. Looking to turn the tides here. The showstopper from Buzz is able to find Trent. He and Stacks. Long time cohorts will both die together. What a shot from Jonah P. Jaw screen picking up the 3K. And G2 getting themselves up to 6.
And it's the pace. The change of pace here. A lot of times when they've been rotating, they've been a little bit slower. They've been taking their time. They've been methodical. This time it's just go, go, go to C. Right after a bit of a contention for the A side. They didn't like what they saw. Immediately rotated the other direction, put some pressure on Izu, and T1 figured it out a little bit too late. And Izu couldn't find much value. He bought a little bit of time, but at the end of the day, G2 just swarmed him, took him out. Got the plant down, used that rolling thunder to buy some extra time, some extra space, and even got a showstopper out of T1 to end that round. That is a big, big victory for them. And the money going to be very weak here for T1 if they can't win this round. Buzz on 0 credits, a few players at 100. So this is a very pivotal round. It could end up being an 8-4 for G2 if they win this one to start this opening match of Masters Bangkok.
Similar setup here, Buzz. Just about able to find the shots here, but down to 5 HP. Somehow dances around those bullets out from Leaf. Paint shells just go ahead and shove G2 back in the opposite direction. For now, they're going to fan out. 2 towards Mound, 2 in towards B. Cam set up on the corner inside of this B site. Izu doesn't have any eyes or ears. Out over towards C. A note there on the stacks, the stealth drone pushing forward, not spotting much of anything. Buzz trying to go for a timing with Leaf, just a little bit faster, able to find it. Scales forward here into the site. Gets himself over towards that connector door.
30 seconds left. Poison's off.
Shorty in hand. Push onto the corner, and Sylvan not ready for it at all. Gets cut down, Izu frantically dancing around, 10 HP remaining. Just trying to bait here, trying to buy some space for Meteor. Push into the smoke, Fallon going to be caught off guard, but Stacks cannot hold the line. The B site now open, the plant can come through. Izu swinging all the way around over towards upper, and now he has everything to do. But with just 10 HP, does he just opt to go and save this weapon as they get ready to go into the last round here of the half? Does manage to snap on to find one. Trent eliminated, but looks like he's just going to take that kill and get out. G2. Back-to-back rounds, they guarantee an advantage at the half.
They're spreading the map so nicely here, and it's really confusing T1. Even though T1 wins the early fight, G2 is able to take a lot of space towards B and towards C, and they're never really comfortable on figuring out exactly which way they wanted to go. And then Leaf able to best Sylvan this time around in the lurk battle. Opens up a huge crossfire towards Stacks. He is left on an island. Meteor trying to get through to help him out, but can never really find the comfort when those doors towards B are opened. So what is this buy going to look like here for T1? Looks like a Guardian for Izu. Kind of curious what else they're going to be able to scrape together. Nice paranoia. The initial shot's just a little bit off for Buzz, actually. Gave Jog a chance there. Leaf so good in this round. So ready for the angles that T1 was going to want to take to try to reinforce the other side of the map. Just shutting him out pretty well. And a little bit of a pause.
Yep. Looks like we do have a tech pause. Our best detectives are on it. Hopefully, quick one so we can get into this last round of the half. G2. You were saying potential for that 8-4 start here on Lotus. T1, they can recover it to a 7-5 on the defender side, given the composition. I'd say that it is still pretty well in hand, pretty well possible.
It'd be well within their grasp, for sure. With the way that we've seen them play this map, with how well they really played on the attacker side yesterday, in particular against EDG. I mean, I think it was like a couple maps where EDG was only able to get, 5 rounds on their defender side total. It was just really oppressive what T1 could do there.
Well, just a little bit of a heartbeat issue there. Seems like everything is good to go. Now we go ahead and see how this half is going to conclude. Dimensional Drift available here for Jaw. The buy, as you were talking about, kind of all over the place. A Glass Cannon Guardian here for the side of Buzz. Looking like something on Bind from last year.
They're not willing to contest Rubble at all. Checking to see how far up exactly they pushed with that Boombot. Stealth drone to check. Sometimes Buzz likes to go onto the other side of the Rubble there, so it's wise to clear that space before you move through. Just a little bit of a TP to see if they can bait out some players of T1 to make an aggro risky peek, but T1 this time going to be disciplined. One of the things they're going to really need to dig deep here today with what G2 has shown so far. They're playing patient. They're playing slow. T1 needs to be able to match that. Or find ways to just turn the screws on them and just turn up the tempo. Sylvan just going on a fact-finding mission. Jogamo going to respond in kind with the Dimensional Drift. He's going way deep.
That lurk from Leaf. Still here in case they want to go for the pivot. It looks like they're going to try to do that. Smoke over onto upper. Snake bite out. Leaf with some spray. And Meteor just going to be overwhelmed trying to escape. He's able to find one. The neural theft now going to be invested 4v4. Stacks able to get himself a weapon upgrade. With those ping reveals, no real way to try to play off of this information. T1 able to just cursory idea of the positioning here from G2.
Buzz is going to have to go huge here. Still 2 blast packs to open up some space, but G2 has given up that space to set up these crossfires.
The time is ticking. They're still not even really stepping into the site. Buzz now trying to start to go for it. Trying to play anti-flash here. He's just keeping his eyes over towards that connected door, but as he swings back in alongside VALORANT, Buzz is going to be taken down, and VALORANT is taken over. 3 kills from the IGL. Secures a 4-round lead for G2 at the half.
Just brilliant game plans coming in here for this attacker side for G2. Patience pays off. It pays dividends as G2 has an 8-4 lead going into the half.
T1 maybe starting to sweat a little bit. You know that this is your opponent's map pick, but it also is a strong map for them. Need to be able to rally back on that attacker side. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it, see if they can pick up another pistol round, but 4 rounds after closing a pistol, not the scoreline you want to be seeing if you are T1 rather. But now, as we go into the halftime break, we have a very special guest standing by. You always love to see him. It's the one and only Ben Kai.
สวัสดีครับโอ้โหกลับมาอีกแล้วนะครับผมในช่วง half time นะครับผมหรือว่าพักครึ่งแล้ววันนี้เรามีแขกรับเชิญพิเศษอีกแล้วครับผม Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Ben Kai คำถามแรกเลยที่ผมอยากถามเบงไคนะครับผมอยากรู้ว่าเมื่อกี้เนี่ยเขาเพิ่งมี walk out มาใช่ไหมก็คือว่าเป็นการเปิดตัวนักแข่งถ้าเกิดว่าใครดู VALORANT มานานจะรู้นะครับว่าเขาเป็นคนที่มีศิลปะเรื่องนี้มากเลยอยากรู้ว่ามีคำแนะนำอะไรหรือเปล่านะครับผมเบงไค as we all know I think I consider you as one of the players who have the master of walkouts. You know you've mastered the art of walkouts. Is there any recommendations or advice for the walkouts just now?
I mean, the last time I played against G2, I walked out as a penguin, so I thought that would inspire them or something. But it was so like, I don't know what to think about their walkout.
Alright ก็สำหรับเขาบอกว่าครั้งที่แล้วที่ไปพ่ายแพ้ให้กับ G2 นะครับก็เดินออกมาเป็นเพนกวินเนาะก็ไม่รู้เหมือนกันว่าทำไมไม่มีอะไรประมาณนั้นนะครับผมเป็น walk out ที่ธรรมดานะครับผม and yeah just one more question which team are you rooting for อยากรู้ว่าชนะคิดว่าทีมไหนจะชนะนะครับ
I mean I'm dressed very appropriately because I came to pay my respects to G2.
Wow โอเคนะครับผมก็ใส่ที่แต่งตัวเรียบร้อยมานะครับผมก็เพราะว่าอยากที่จะให้เกียรติ G2 นะครับผมก็ไม่รู้ว่าจะหมายความว่ายังไงนะครับแต่อย่างไรก็ตามเดี๋ยวเรากลับไปเกมครับผม Ladies and gentlemen that will be it for now we'll go back to the game
Always love to see him. We'll see though if it's going to be respecting G2 as Masters winners or if it's going to be putting them 6 feet under.
Well, it's a very strong start for G2. Let's see what T1's got dialed up here. G2 already looking to really gum up the works, either towards B or towards C mound, and that's the direction that T1 is going to be leaning. You've got both the Breach and the Taeho util available to slow this hit down. Stacks wants to check with the recon, but the smokes out front dissuade T1 from continuing down that path. Yizu, in the meantime, has taken a ton of space, but that's going to get checked and cleared.
Stealth drone will shove him back. Now, Salvo's pushing him into the open. Yizu just going to be picked off, even some damage there. Now on to Buzz. Already the round well poised to go the way of G2.
Those combos are so good. The way they set those up, the timings they have on the fly, just so brilliant from G2.
One shock to back sight, nothing there to receive it. Jaw, however, on the corner. A one tap on the Meteor, finishes off Buzz. Tips of the spear, eliminated Stacks. Finds one, but is immediately traded out. Now it's down to Sylvan. He is greeted by Leaf on the flank. And that is going to be a pistol going the way of G2. 1-1 in that regard, but after closing out the eco round in the first half, They're so well poised to claim Lotus as their own.
There it is again. Just a combo utility from Trent. Gets you a free kill, basically, and it was right at the moment that T1 was trying to come through the door to help Izu out, and it completely stalls the space take from them, and then it just all falls apart. G2's able to get into those positions to deny the plant, and T1 is left with just a Sheriff for Meteor as their buy.
Val at this range, somehow he's still so very favored. Put stacks down to 40, Meteor trying to intrude on that B site. Met by 2, quickly falls.
And the Stingers are annoying against ISO as well, because they're going to deal with that shield very quickly. So in that regard, G2 has a bit of an upper hand. Jog with the Outlaw. Usually you see Leaf with it, but with him being on the Viper, going to go for the Duelist instead.
Can he get him on the peak? He absolutely can. Snappy there from Jog. It's a little bit of damage, able to exit. Sylvan cannot find a catch. Leaf stays alive. Orb is going to be picked up here by Buzz as he tries to get that showstopper online. Hugs along the wall. Manages to collect them both. Wow. Leaf Trent going to be eliminated, but now Buzz, a recovered Bulldog, asked to do absolutely everything, and Jaw's just stomping on him.
What a round from Jog. Doing great work with the Outlaw, and then breaking Buzz's ankles at the end. He is so tricky on this Yoru. One of my favorite to watch in the world, just in terms of how he's able to TP around you, how he's able to use information against you. A lot of times you're seeing him work off the toxic screen. This time, he's just waiting. Gets the kill. There's a smoke there. TP's right back. I mean, Buzz is kind of ready for it, but it didn't matter.
Ooh.
He was bunny hopping his way towards him.
Oh my God!
yeah, I agree.
Even the coaching staff, and that's the thing, Jogamo gets going, no one is ready for him. Hard to get a read on what he's gonna do because he doesn't have a plan. He just sends it, and oftentimes it is working out for him. As those salvos once again, so much value. Sylvan at 41, Buzz 29. Meteor not going to be able to get any kind of reset here on that double tap. Buzz around the back, trying to watch this position. Scales forward in front of the smoke. It does manage to actually catch Valen off guard. Down to 6 HP. Zizu tries to break things open through this connector into the B site. Dodges the stun, forces Trent away. And got Jonah P. He's out here within the smoke. The fake out pops just in case, and Jonah does get taken down. Continued spam here. Maybe Izu anticipating that Jaw was going to be pushing off the back of his own fake out. Comes away with a free gifted kill.
Oh, I like the tap of the door here to sell that you're still going A. That's kept G2 planted, looking that direction, while T1 moved in the other. They're screaming over towards C. B, though, going to be checked and cleared by Leaf. Buzz just holding there, left. Looking for the potential lurk. Izu going on a bit of a walkabout himself.
Double flankers available here for T1, but Leaf is now starting to get himself in position. Still just that stinger in hand, does get smoked off here at Waterfall.
Took a long time to get here, man.
Paranoia now sent. Buzz on the move. Izu just gonna rotate back across through main. There's the salvos once again. They try to delay. 8 seconds remaining here. There's the push. There's the spike dropped. And I don't think they have the time. They need the stinger right now. They just can't get it done. Everyone is dying, falling to the wayside. Stinger Vandal doesn't matter. Leaf is just different. G2 get to 11.
Unbelievable stuff from G2. But it's the time that works against T1. They're able to pretty effectively sell a fake, but they don't have a ton of information on what's going on the other side of the map. So they slow walk almost the whole way from A to C, and that buys enough time for G2 to get the read, to get to the other side, and wipe T1 out of this round, probably out of this map.
Bracelets!
They all want the MVP. They all want the MVP.
We'll see. Right now, still very much up for grabs. Still a lot more Valorant that needs to be played before somebody can claim it, but G2, they want that 1-0 start. They want dominance. They want to send T1 reeling backstage from a devastating loss.
This is so tough now. Oh, Jonah P, what a
There's no
position.
way to read.
Spike down A.
They are everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Omnipresent on the map, Izu. Answers one back, stops it from being a flawless, but that is as good as it gets. Map point now for G2.
I mean, there's just nothing that T1 can do well. They can't win the Rubble fights. The util just too oppressive. The crossfire is so good. And even with the paranoia hitting, Sylvan takes such a tight angle around Rubble. He gets cut down instantly. Well, the rest of T1 fall like a house of cards. G2 huffed and puffed and blew them away. And this has been quite a shocking start. It looked so good. It was 4-5 at one point. It looked like it was going to be a banger back and forth. And then since then, G2 has just run away with 7 rounds in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. 7 rounds in a row, the fans here passionately cheering for G2. Final timeout call from T1 to see if they can get anything that they can then glean and try to push forward into the second map here of this series. But economy, once again, not going to be in a very strong place. There's a showstopper, a neural theft. Jog him on the opposite side. Dimensional drift.
It's a bit reminiscent of the way things went against EDG for T1 on that split, where they were just kind of getting blown out, and then they were able to string a few more rounds together, get some confidence in the next map, make it a series. But right here, right now, you know, it's all about just that momentum, just trying to find a few round wins, you know, a big play from one of your big playmakers, Buzz, Meteor, who knows, Izu, Sylvan, everybody's got the potential. A little bit of a contention towards the back of Rubble, but so far, no real play off of it for G2. They're tucked firmly behind. T1 should just accelerate here. They have met 0 resistance.
They are going to go pushing forward. Trent just pulling back, trying to get everybody rotated into position. Izu trying to go for a lurk. About to walk forward into B, but Leaf once again swoops out, finds a kill. That much more pressure here on Izu to try to deliver showstopper. Point blank, Trent going to be taken down. Valen able to find one. It's now a 3v3 with the dimensional drift in play, but Buzz takes down the opposing captain.
Enemy remaining.
Jaw trying to lead the charge here, but now realizes that he's all on his lonesome. Goes pushing out, trying to go for the shorty. This time, Buzz is well prepared. T1 will break the round win streak here from G2. But from here on out, they now need the streak 7 in a row to get it into overtime.
Certainly seems like a almost impossible mountain to climb for T1. Good round here. Able to, again, just make some good decisions off of the space being given up. Just make a confident play, get in there, send Izu on the lurk, kind of simplify the round a little bit. They're able to come through with a pretty clean win. But Buzz
just has to continue going forward. There's the spam out. The recon from Stacks revealing so many, but with Buzz dead, there's no one to try to play off the information. Jonah P now lingering here within the smoke, backing off, anticipating a retap on the door. Drone pushing, guiding Meteor forward through connected Trent on this right side angle. To try to intercept and shut down. Shifts over towards upper. Push over the corner. Some damage going to be exchanged here. Looking for the stun, and he just re-peeks it. Meteor desperately trying to get away, but cannot. As Trent looks to hold this down. Make it unassailable. Just Stacks and Sylvan remaining. A 2v5. A desperate bid to try to keep this map going. Sylvan will find the first, but he eats so much damage. It's an easy grab for Leaf as he looks for the second and final kill here on Lotus. A bit more fight here, it would seem. And Valen will go ahead and put them down. 13-5 G2, making a statement on their map pick of Lotus.
Absolute destruction here. They had T1's number so well throughout this.
T1 needing to rally back. They have their map pick of Haven coming up, but G2 have clearly been doing their homework. We'll see what happens when we come back after the break.
Nice try. And
T. Let's go. They're already shook. It's a marathon. Take advantage of it. Guys, not even close. Go, Jota, go, Jota, go, Jota, go. Just let me work. I'm gonna go. Nice, Jake. I'm in the game, baby. Bracelet, bracelet, bracelet. Bracelets. Wait, I didn't.
Face your death, cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets, cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops there. I'm taking off like a rocket here, ain't stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future, but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again.
Oh.